This is the Greek Word of the Day with James Gregory. Hello, welcome to the Greek Word of the Day. Today we have, excuse me, oh man, megas. We have megas. It's an adjective. So, the nominative masculine singular is megas, the feminine is megali, and the neuter is mega. Right? You know what this is. Large. Great. We use it in English all the time. Well, maybe when I was like 8. A long time ago. So it's a comparative, okay? It can also be used with metzon. It's an adjective, but it can be used as a comparative. But usually when there's a comparison in the New Testament, it's going to use metzon. So just be aware of that. Now, it means large, it means great, but look at the BDAG glosses. The first one, pertaining to exceeding a standard involving related objects. Large. Great. This could be used of any extension in space in all directions, like stones, lithos. It could be used with suggestion of spaciousness, like a spacious room, like Mark 14 or Luke 22. With words that include the idea of number. A large herd, for example, from Mark 5. It could be used of age, to include all concerned, small and great. So that's the first gloss. The second gloss is very simple, straightforward, pertaining to being above average in quantity. Great. A great means of gain, 1 Timothy 6. A rich reward, Hebrews 10. And there's a third gloss pertaining to being above standard in intensity, translated great. Okay, this is like dynamis, Acts 4:33. It could be used of sound, loud. It could be used of light, a bright light. So just because it's generally translated great doesn't mean you would necessarily say great all the time. So a megaphony or megaliphony would be a loud sound. A megaphos or phos. I want to say phos is neuter, but I could be wrong on that. Let's assume for the moment it's nominative. So phos, megas, a bright light. Galini, megali, a deep calm. So you can see the general meaning is great, but in actual translation and usage, you'll make it more fluid based on the English language and the imagery that's entailed, okay? For example, a strong wind, right? You wouldn't necessarily have to say a great wind. You could say a strong wind, because that's the language we use to describe wind when it's really strong. Intense heat, for example, is another one. So there's lots of them. You got to look it up in BDAG. BDAG is your friend. I'm going to skip ahead because there's a bunch of them and I'm not going to have time to read them all. A fourth gloss is pertaining to being relatively superior in importance. Great. Okay, so this could be used of rational entities, of God and other deities. It could be used of things, like a simply translated great, sublime, important, something like that. And a fifth and final gloss, it's pertaining to being unusual, translated surprising, usually in the neuter, mega. So the example given here is from 1 Corinthians 9:11. Mega e ... therisomen. Is it an extraordinary thing if we wish to reap? Question mark. In etc. Are we expecting too much? Which is to say, is it a big deal in our English colloquialism? So just keep in mind, you might have to utilize megas in a more dynamic way. Sometimes translating it literally isn't going to be the best. So rely on BDAG to help you determine when to translate it more literally and sometimes more, I guess you could say, figuratively, depending on the context and what's the idea being conveyed. And that's my biggest advice for you. So that's today's Greek word of the day. Thanks for joining. We'll have another one tomorrow. So hit subscribe, hit the bell, come back tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.